Hello, YouTube viewers. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I just finally got my camera working. I will be happy to report we have a new home that we are leasing, although you have no idea what the story is yet because this is my first video. God, the Creator Energy, has placed me in the position of being the new Mile High Advocate, and we just moved here, my family and I and our children, about 3 months ago, in the first part of June, to what we thought after a 2-year plan to get here was a beautiful home. Apparently it was a beautiful home to the eye, but when it comes to toxic substances, the house is basically full of them. This has been very hard for us. It's been very hard for me, the children, my animals. Basically, I have no script here, so I don't even know what to say. I've been placed in this position for a reason. I have complete and solid evidence of fraudulent hands in the situation with my home. We moved in. It was a beautiful home. We started moving our stuff in, and one of the many police, sheriff, state patrol neighbors came over to tell me that there was some sort of a bust there. And as we were getting comfortable in our home, I was making calls immediately, kind of found out it was a meth bust and possible meth lab activity. Everyone in my situation, from the owners, property manager, first testers, which are industrial hygienists, I've since found, cleaners, which are the decontaminators, the mitigation people, the second testers, who are also industrial hygienists, supposedly, and now all the way up to the state hands. In my case, every one of these people fraudulently declared my home as a clean meth lab, a properly decontaminated meth lab. Unfortunately, I didn't take yes for an answer, because unfortunately, my air vents are 30 times the regs, my garage is 50 times the regs, that's regulations, and I have since proven my home to not be proper to be lived in. I have been through contamination, homelessness, and now burglary, which has nothing to do with the issue at hand here. That was my storage unit. Where I am right now, where I hadn't even properly set up for a public little viewing, but this home here has been given to, this space has been given to us to live in the last 3 weeks by a group of angels that allowed us to stay here. Without their help, we would have been in so much trouble because we have $100 left to our name. But I'm happy to report we have a home that we're going to, all of my it's been very difficult. We have a new home to live in, and it's a very clean home, and I just want to, this is my just initial recording I'm making. I'm not even going to publicize it yet because I have a top journalist working on the situation and helping me and verifying that all of my documents are the correct documents, and my forensic man is the correct forensic man, who him and his angel wife have helped me. Basically, they were the beginning to help me determine my home was safe or not to be in. I will make this public as soon as we get this on air, because I'm immediately demanding the state to make assessments, immediate assessments of these other homes, because there are other homes in question. How do I know this? I know this because the state regulator who fraudulently declared my home as safe to live in has her hands in other cases that my forensic man has tested and proven to be not properly decontaminated as well by these same companies. And she has oversight on all this because apparently she has a private organization called CAMP. Something meth and mold professionals. I'll have to look at my paperwork. I wasn't planning on sitting here and recording right now. I was just praying my camera might actually turn on finally. She has a private organization with 2 of these companies as members and board members, and she's trying to protect them. And she's done it on other homes that my forensic man, who, by the way, happens to be a cop, happens to be a cop trainer, happens to travel the world talking about toxic substances and things. He is a certified forensic industrial hygienist. Him and his wife and the 3 ladies that have blessed us with a home to stay in are our few angels. I spent so much time trying to find one city resource, as much as we still love it here, and the people here are just wonderfully sweet. Not one resource would help us. Not the victims of crime, although it is a crime to knowingly move someone and a family into a toxic home. No one. The 3 governing bodies are supposed to be in this issue: the Public Health Department of Environmental Health, the building people, and the police officers. And none of them will go even to my home, for example, where I was staying, and put posts on the walls, which is what they do when they initially bust a home. They will not put anything on the doors saying it's not safe. And if I do nothing now, if I did absolutely nothing from here on out, they will rent that home again. They will be allowed to do it. They will be allowed to make these people sick. We were starting to get sick. And I'll go into that in another video. But that is why I'm now the Mile High Advocate. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I am here to demand immediate assessment at the state's expense of these homes that are in question by these fraudulent companies that the state regulator is helping to cover up. I want immediate assessment of the homes and the family's health, because there are mothers out there with newborn babies that may have situations. It doesn't matter who you are, you need fresh air to breathe, much less a newborn baby that's out there that I focus on. I know there's at least some little baby that's desperate for clean air, and their mother's about to turn on that contaminated heat vent full time for the winter, like I came very close to doing. I came very close, like within a week of turning on my contaminated heat vent for my family to breathe. There was dead animals in there. They overlooked that a few times apparently. But I will make more videos, and more than likely I'll make them all available at the same time, but you can kind of get an idea of what I've been through. I've moved 3 times in 3 months. I've been through contamination, homelessness, and now burglary. And I wouldn't have gone through the burglary had I not had to put my stuff in the storage units. But that's another issue. So, yes, we're going to have some issues on meth. Yes, I'm going to tell you what it's about. Yes, I'm going to give you the details of my proof. Yes, yes, and yes. And yes, I'm going to need the community to push for this to happen. These assessments, immediate assessments of these homes and the people's safety and their health and their well-being in these homes. And not only am I going to get the right people fired, but I'm going to make sure we get these holes covered. And I'll tell you about the holes later in another video. Again, this will probably be public after we get this. These videos will be public after we get the story out with one of my top news reporter people. I guess I can say his name now, John Ferrugia. I haven't even seen his face yet. I've been on Tom Martino's show a couple times. I haven't even seen their show or heard their show, because I'm so new here. But me and John, he's double checking and getting the direct paperwork that I already have directly from the source, which is the city. He's going in there, looking at the public records, looking up all the addresses my forensic man has deemed not fit. And the city has done nothing about them because they're not required to. And that's a quote. So I'll fill in all the holes in the system later. I never liked the governmental stuff in class. I never got into all that. I've had to learn about statutes. I've had to learn about meth labs, proper decontamination. I've had to learn about toxicity. I've had to learn nanograms, milliliters. I've had to learn a lot in the last 3 months, and I've had two main objectives: to find me and my family a safe place to live before the snow gets here, without any one city resource helping us. I've had to, number two, I started milehighadvocate@gmail.com. That is my email. I started this a few days ago, but I haven't been able to do a recording, and I didn't even know what I was going to record. But this is just an initial, off-the-cuff, first recording to give you some ideas of what's going on. I've already filled my milehighadvocate@gmail.com with 250 detailed contacts, all the way from the FBI and every governmental agency I could think of that had a say in this, the realtor boards, the national, the local, because everyone has a say in this. Because if a home is deemed properly decontaminated, no one, including realtors or the landlords themselves, have to tell you. So if in fact the people who pass these homes with this piece of paper that says they don't have to tell you are fraudulently doing so, doesn't that cause a problem for all people in Colorado? You decide.